Okay, fine. Here we are discussing like NAT concept. So static NAT will configure first. I have taken the IP ranges from series of like say private range 192.168.10.1. This is a private range, and we have a at another location. You can assume it's kind of ISP. This ISP is connected to one server. You can take it as this kind of it's a server. It's server or any different location. These all are the it's kind of Facebook server, and it's a Google server, and these are the different PCs, different host. These are also server, you can believe, you can assume likewise. So we'll give the IP addresses to our host. First we'll configure it 192.168.10.10. 20, 30, and it's say 40. We have given, and the default gateway is 120 default gateway, and the IP address is for this 30 and 192.168.10.1, and the range is 40 for this PC. And so all other PCs are at LAN location, at our branch location, and these are the PCs at different location, and the default gateway for this is the same thing, and this is the range of default gateway at different location. You can this is our server IP address. Will give the IP address for this 150 dot. This is a private range. Then for this server, make sure 255. The different server 20. For this PC. It will be default. It will take it because it's a class B IP address. That is the reason 255 0.0 it is taking. So make sure you should have to change that. Okay, fine. We'll configure. Till now, anyone have any questions? It's a basic thing only I'm configuring. Yes or no? Host name, branch, and branch host name, Apart from that, we'll give the enable password, the Cisco, and I'll configure now interfaces. Interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1, LAN interface towards LAN, IP address 192.168.10.1 and 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Exit from here and WAN interface towards WAN, that is fast Ethernet 0 by 0, IP address 11.1.1.1 and 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. And check the IP address, show IP interface brief. With the help of this command, we'll check the interfaces. One protocol is down because we haven't configured at WAN location. That is the reason it's showing down. Now it's ISP router, interface fast Ethernet, sorry, enable. Now move to the global configuration mode and hostname, ISP, enable password. Basic thing, interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0. First WAN interface I'm configuring. IP address is 11.1.1.2 and 255.255.255.0 and now shut down and exit from here and towards LAN interface. LAN interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. IP address is 150.1.1.1 and 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. The basic configuration done. Now show IP interface brief. We'll check here. Now directly ping from WAN interface. We'll verify it. It's pinging or not. 11.1.1.1. Let's we can reach. First, we'll configure here static NAT. Static NAT is we have to one-to-one mapping. Here we have a 4 interfaces, so we should have to enable with one-to-one map only. How it will be enabled? Move to the global configuration terminal. Global configuration. Now create the NAT, IP NAT, that is static NAT. So IP NAT, you can give the question mark. We said from inside I am creating here. Inside, then whichever the source IP address is 192.168.10.10. This is a one host and second host. This is a source IP addresses. 192.168.10.10 and we should have to define it source before that. Source, then give the IP address. Which how we are giving it? enabling statically we are giving. So it will be asked inside local IP address. No, give the IP address now. 192.168.10.10 and inside global IP address, whichever we need. Before that, we have to make it reachability for from mostly. Now close it here. We'll discuss different thing. We'll move to the NAT. See, actually, for this interface, this is a branch location branch location. It's a customer edge router, and this is a provider edge router. In between, in real time, the configuration will be this interface will configure default routing because at WAN location we don't know the whichever we have to communicate means we have the multiple different domains, right? XYZ, and those kind of different branches, different. If I want to communicate through internet having the multiple IP addresses, those entire IP addresses we don't know. That is the reason in real time also we'll use the default routing here in this range. Here in this interface mostly we'll use the default routing. So how we'll configure a default routing? I config terminal IP route. So 0.0.0.0 and what's subnet also 0.0.0 and next hop IP address is 11.1.1.1. That is my provider edge next hop 1.1.2 and no need to give any distance. So up to here we show IP interface brief. We configure two interfaces and show IP route. We check route. We have the two words, the WAN interface, the IP range. Now we'll check here. We have to reachable. The packet originated here, then we can communicate. But here also routing is required. Two words, replying time. If we can not configure here, then we cannot communicate. So here mostly they will provide one public IP. That is the next hope for that. Will configure likewise. Apart from that, they will provide any public IP address to us. In real time, whichever the provided public IP, that will be configured here. But this is a lab, so I am taking here simply whichever the public range, like will take 100. 100 is our public range IP address. They assign to us. They give ISP guys provider as one pool. So we'll take this is the private range. We'll take one is the public range. So our default routing or will configure this is a static routing towards our LAN interface. Config terminal because we don't want to share our entire whichever the IP addresses. If we are giving the IP ranges, then what is the reason behind again? The security is not there. Security is not there. So we will not give our ranges, our scheme, IP scheme, we won't share with ISPs. We won't share in real time. They won't share whichever we are using our LAN location IP scheme. We will not share with ISPs. So they will provide to us one public IP address. Will configure here on that public IP address in real time. But lab purpose, I'm taking like this. So IP route 100.1.1.1.0 and 255.255.255.0, and next hop IP address is this one, 11.1.1.1. 11.1.1.1.1. Exit from here. Now check show IP route. Yes, we configured one static route. This is our the NAT with will create the pool with this IP address. Now try to communicate it. We'll communicate first our default gateway. Yes, we can reach our default gateway. Then we'll move to the next IP address ping 11.1.1.1. Yes, we can reach our next hop IP address for here to here. Then we'll move to this IP range 11.2. Yes, we cannot reach because the reverse routing is not there. Source IP address is 192.168.10.10 and destination IP address is here 11.2. Even we have the source up to here only destination, so the packet is denied because the reverse routing is not there in this router. We don't have any routing information of 192.168 10.0. This range we don't have in this routing information. Even though we have the default route here, we can reach, but in this router we don't have for this information, this route information. So that is the reason we are not able to reach. So IP route, you can check verified. We don't have information. So that is the reason we are hiding our LAN interfaces. Now we'll configure it. We are hiding our private IP ranges. Any doubts in this? Understood? Yes, or no?
One question on the router side, we have configured using default routing. On
Yes.
the IP side, we have configured using static routing. What is the difference between why we have to configure like that?
Yes, okay, fine. See, actually, Jyoti, what happened? Why I configured our branch location, the static routing. So I want to reach internet. Okay. So at internet, I don't know the Google IP address. I don't know the Facebook IP address. I don't know the Twitter account number, Twitter IP address. I don't know this so many things. If I want to configure, if I know also, if I want to configure them in my routing table, it will be difficult. So that is the reason I have configured default routing 0.0.0.0. In real time also we'll configure same thing at our provider. Will configure same thing only in real time also. But if I configured here 0.0.0.0, if I will configure here the same thing, he can enter my LAN network. He can enter my LAN network. What does it mean? A default routing from the range is from 0.0.0.0 to you can communicate any 255, 255, 255, 255. In between any ranges, any IP address is available, we can communicate with this default statement. If I configured the default IP address here, he can reach out to us, our network also, he can reach. If I configure the default route, IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0 and next hop IP address if I configure 11.1.1.1, if I enter, he can reach to me and my IP scheme is not had. He can reach out to me. If my server is there, easily he can hack that server. that valuable information. Man-made attack, it will be happen if he can reach to our service easily. That is the reason, security reason, we will not give our, and these ISPs also not configured the default route towards our internet, towards our LAN. If I configure likewise, earlier we try to ping. Now you can ping it. Yes, we can reach that IP address also. If you want to reach any IP address, ping 192, sorry, 150.1.1.10. Here, NAT concept is not required then. What is the use of NAT? If I give the here also, he will also try to, he will also, if is a attacker, he can easily reach out our network. Ping 192.168.10.110. He can easily reach out to us. So there is not a security. So that is the reason I configured here. I hope you got it.
Yes.
So no security. If I will configure default routing, no security. Now try to ping it now. Destination host is unreachable. Yes, we need this thing only. They cannot communicate to us. The ISP won't communicate to us. So here what we'll do, if I want to communicate, but I am also not communicating. If I will use likewise, I am also not communicating. If I want to communicate, then we have the NAT. So the main reason is for NAT is translating from private to public IP, private IP addresses to public IP addresses. Understood? Private to public. Translate. Now configure it. Now configure. First, we'll configure the static NAT, IP NAT, and inside and source IP address is my source IP addresses. Each and every source one-to-one mapping we are doing here. 192.168.10.10 and static and IP address 192.168.10.10. And what is my inside global? Inside global is, this is the inside global, whichever ISP provided to us, that is our inside global. This is also our inside global only. So first we'll take 100.1.1.1 and second range will be IP NAT inside source static 192.168.10.20 one-to-one mapping 100.1.1.1. Sorry, 2. If you take 1, already it will be ping, then it won't communicate to us. Then that IP address. We should have to take different IP NAT inside source static 192.168.10.30 100.1.1.3. For we take 3 only. So we NAT translation before we'll verify it is 1 IP for this translation. Inside global IP addresses, whichever private IP addresses, those are the inside global IP addresses, and inside local, whichever our IP addresses, LAN location IP addresses, those are the private IP ranges. For 1-to-1, we converted, we created. Understood? So running configuration, we'll check running configuration. What I did, I have configured like this. Now try to ping. Wait. Static NAT. So after then this, we have to configure, we have to implement that implementation. So how we'll implement for towards our LAN interface, we have to configure inside, and towards WAN interface, we have to configure outside. Inside and outside, we have to configure inside and outside towards. Now move to the router. Again, check the translation, what it will be happen. Not translated anything. Outside and outside global, outside local. Once we configure the entire thing, we'll check those. Config terminal interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. It's our towards LAN interface. So it's a inside and it's a outside towards WAN. Remind it. Remember it. Inside. So give the question mark. Inside interface for address translation. Outside interface for address translation. It's inside means whichever we have taken this F0 by 0, that is our LAN interface. So it is inside. And exit and interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0. It's towards WAN interface. IP NAT, it's towards WAN interface. So we have to take outside. Inside, outside is required. If we have not configured, it won't work. Check the show IP NAT translation. This is a verification command. It's a troubleshooting command. So once we originate some traffic, then it will be here, you will get some information, whichever based on, it will be whichever you are traffic originating, based on that you will get here. So first ICMP traffic, that is ping traffic. One we are trying to ping from this to this. First we'll originate ICMP traffic. Yes, we can able to ping 150.1.1.1. Earlier we haven't. Now we can ping. Now check NAT translation in outside global and outside local and outside global. What does that mean? We'll discuss. Check here. Basically, which 4 packets we sent and we received. 4 packets we sent and we received with IP addresses, that is inside local 192.168.10.10. The range we configured which pool, which private public IP address 100.1.1.1. Here randomly it will take the port number 29, 30, 31. These are the port numbers, and giving the reply also same port number. You can check here. Whichever the sending packet, he'll get the reply for that only. Here outside local means it's a source, and outside global means he's giving the reply. What will be happen? First one is source and second one is destination. From source is 10.10, first originated. Which one is the destination? 1.50 is a source. Outside local. It's a outside local, that is 1.50. 1.10, sorry. And it is now originating the replying, right? So that time source and destination, whenever the packet is received, and he should have to give the reply. And reply time source is 1.10 and destination is 10.10. This is the outside global. It's a sending packet, that is source. Sorry, this is a source and this is a destination, you can assume. Sending and getting the reply. Those will be happen. That is the reason source local and source global. It will be happen. Now will originate traffic that some ICMP traffic we originated. Again check. It will be changed by default. If you are not originating, it will be limited time only. Once the packet is finished, the session is finished, they will remove from translation table. They will remove from translation table. It won't wait. It won't wait. It will be removed. You can check here. The translation information is gone. Whenever you are originating traffic, that time only it will be get. If we continuously will do the ping -d, you can check now. How many packets are originating? That many packets you will get. Earlier we get only 4. Now you can check. Continuous pinging is happening here. That many replies and that many packets are we are getting the reply and traffic originating, and we are getting the same thing we are reply. So you can check here. Close it, and will originate different traffic. HTTP traffic will originate some HTTP traffic with different PC. With browser. One 50.1.1.20. Yes, HTTP, and will originate some HTTPS traffic. HTTPS traffic. Yes, we originated. We'll check here. We'll verify. See, HTTP port number is 443 and HTTPS port number is 443 and giving the reply. 80 is for the HTTP. We are getting whichever we are, and here random port number it is taken. Random port number is taken. From source is originating traffic, that time it will be take random port number, what we discussed in lab, in theory. See, here it will be take random port number in this range. In this range, it will be take random port number, and whenever the giving reply time, whichever traffic is originated, that accurate result will be given. We try to ping here HTTP, and from this PC HTTP, sorry, HTTPS from here and HTTP here. So this port number is 80 and this port number is 443. We got it. And this is a source port number, that is random port number. Source global also random port number. Again, we try it. How many times you hit enter, that many packets you will get. If you enter one time only, that I'll enter here. I'll hit enter only 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now check it 3 times. The random port number 26 1026 1024 27 1028. Likewise, if try to originate from this PC, we have not configured. We created pool, only 3 pools. Show running configuration. Otherwise, to check back, it's NAT. Only we configured 3. We try to ping from this PC. Ping 150.1.1.10. We cannot able to reach because we have not configured for this PC. You want? Yes, you can configure it. Just IP NAT will do continuous ping. -T. Now we'll configure it. IP NAT inside source static 192.168.10.30 and 100.1.1.3. What we'll do, one will give for him also. We'll try it at a time. Wait. Already we configured for this PC one only, even though we configured for him also. So first come, first taken, I think so. That is the reason he can able to reach, but he cannot. We verified we cannot give a 2 pools, 2 IP addresses, public IP addresses to host, two only one private, one public IP range. I cannot assign for 2 private ranges, private IP addresses. Here I have given the same IP address and already existed for the this PC 10.10 already existed. Even though I cannot configure likewise. If I configure, it won't work. Then what I have to do? First remove it, then configure it now again. It's a 4. We'll take 4. 4 is free. Now take, check from here. Sorry. 40. Yes, now we can able to reach. I have given different IP. Static NAT, any doubts? So IP NAT translation. We are getting from ICMP packets also. Can verify. Any doubts in static NATs?